Most people think global brands succeed because they have bigger budgets, flashier advertisements, or superior technology. They believe that billions of dollars spent on commercials and fancy studio production create world dominating companies. But the truth is far more interesting, and it might surprise you. The real secret behind every mega brand's success has nothing to do with how much money they throw at marketing. It's something much deeper, much more human, and something most people completely overlook. The emotional connection that money can't buy. When Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone, he didn't talk about megahertz or processing power. Instead, he showed people a device that felt different, that promised to change how they lived. Apple didn't sell technology. It sold a feeling. It sold the idea that you could be creative, cool, and different if you chose their products. This is the first hidden truth. Successful global brands don't sell products. They sell identity and belief. Think about what happens when you buy an Apple product. You're not just purchasing a piece of hardware, you're joining a club of people who value design, innovation, and thinking differently from everyone else. The brand has spent decades telling people that Apple users are creative, forward-thinking individuals. Over time, this message became so powerful that people actually started believing it. When you wear those Apple earbuds or pull out your MacBook at a coffee shop, you're sending a signal to the world about who you are and what you value. This psychological connection is so strong that Apple users often defend their choices more passionately than fans of any other brand. They don't just like Apple products. They love the identity that comes with being an Apple user. Nike's Just Do It campaign doesn't motivate people to buy shoes. Instead, it tells stories of ordinary people achieving extraordinary things. When Serena Williams' ad stated, "It is only crazy until you do it," the message wasn't about athletic apparel. It was about proving that greatness is possible for anyone willing to chase it. The company understands that loyalty comes from shared values, not from product specifications. Nike's controversial partnership with athlete Colin Kaepernick demonstrated this perfectly. When the brand supported a social cause that was divisive and risky, many people thought it would backfire. Instead, Nike's online sales surged by 30% because the brand showed that it was willing to stand for something beyond making profits. Customers didn't buy shoes to wear on their feet. They bought them to make a statement about their beliefs and values. Apple achieved a 92% brand loyalty score, the highest in any industry. This wasn't because iPhones were perfect. They weren't always. It was because Apple created an emotional connection so strong that customers felt like they belonged to something larger than themselves. When you wear Nike, you're not just wearing a shoe, you're making a statement about your identity. You're choosing to be part of a movement that celebrates ambition and perseverance. Coca-Cola mastered this decades before social media existed. The company understood that people don't drink Coca-Cola for its taste alone. There are cheaper alternatives that taste similar. They drink it because it represents happiness, togetherness, and friendship. The brand's Share a Coke campaign took this further by printing individual names on bottles, creating a personal connection between the product and the consumer. This simple idea turned a beverage into a moment of human connection. The secret weapon hiding in plain sight, the second hidden truth, is that mega brands don't grow through broadcasting their message. They grow by building communities where customers feel they belong. Nike discovered something remarkable. When customers join a community with like-minded people, their loyalty deepens dramatically. The data proves it. 47% of customers reported they would stay loyal to a brand with a community sharing their interests. Nike doesn't just sell in stores. It hosts free fitness classes, offers virtual training programs, and creates spaces where runners, athletes, and ambitious people gather. The Nike Run Club app connects thousands of people who share a passion for running. This isn't a marketing tactic, it's a lifestyle movement. Amazon understood this with Prime membership. It's not just about 2-day shipping. It's about belonging to an exclusive club that gets special treatment. Prime members spend nearly twice as much as non-Prime customers because the membership itself creates a sense of privilege and connection. Sephora's Beauty Insider program works the same way. By creating a tiered system where members feel valued and recognized, the brand turned beauty shopping into a community experience. Sephora's net worth reached $24.66 billion, largely because customers kept coming back not just for products, but to be part of a community that understood them. Kermesser's retention over everything else. Here's the third hidden truth that separates global giants from struggling brands. The mega successful companies prioritize keeping customers for life, not acquiring new ones constantly. A common misconception in marketing is that you need to constantly find new customers. But data from 2025 shows that 65% of a company's revenue comes from repeat business with existing customers. Loyal customers make purchases 90% more frequently than new ones. Apple understood this with its ecosystem strategy. Once you own an iPhone, a MacBook, and an Apple Watch, switching becomes harder and more painful. The devices work seamlessly together, creating a web that locks customers in through convenience and integration, not through manipulation. This ecosystem approach kept customers loyal not through force, but through making their lives easier. Amazon's Subscribe and Save feature created recurring purchases that became habitual. When customers schedule deliveries for essential products at discounted rates, they're not thinking about shopping anymore. They're simply receiving what they need. One seller on Amazon saw their repeat customer rate jump from 10% to 30% after using this feature. That's the power of making loyalty automatic. Additionally, Amazon Prime members have become a special class of customers. The subscription doesn't just offer shipping benefits. It provides access to streaming services, music, exclusive deals, and countless other perks. This ecosystem keeps customers locked in through value, convenience, and the simple fact that their annual fee makes them feel invested in the company. Prime members spend nearly twice as much as non-Prime customers annually, proving that when you make customers feel special and rewarded, they respond with loyalty and increased spending. Netflix learned something important early. Customers don't stay because you have the best catalog. They stay because the service learns what they like and recommends content they'll actually watch. Personalization makes customers feel understood. When a brand knows your preferences and treats you as an individual rather than a transaction, you keep coming back. One truth, many languages, the fourth hidden truth, might be the most important for global success. Every mega brand maintains a consistent core identity while adapting completely to local markets. This sounds like a contradiction, but it's the smartest strategy ever discovered. Coca-Cola does this brilliantly. The company's core message, happiness, unity, and togetherness, remains the same worldwide, but execution changes dramatically. A Coca-Cola campaign in Japan might emphasize different values or imagery than one in Brazil or South Africa. Microsoft positions itself as an empowering force for all people, but how that empowerment manifests depends on the market. In one country, it might focus on business productivity. In another, it might emphasize gaming and entertainment. The brand stays true to its essence while respecting cultural nuances and local preferences. This balance between consistency and flexibility is what separates brands that succeed globally from those that crash internationally. Nike's "Just Do It" slogan works everywhere because it taps into universal human desires, achievement, courage, self-belief. But how the message reaches people changes with every market. What inspires a teenager in New York might differ slightly from what inspires one in Mumbai. The truth about hard work and long-term thinking. Finally, there's a fifth hidden truth that nobody wants to hear. There are no shortcuts. Every global brand that dominates today spent years or decades building their foundation before they became household names. Nike wasn't built overnight with a massive advertising budget. The company started with a focus on storytelling, word-of-mouth marketing, strategic partnerships with athletes, and genuine engagement with customers who loved sports. Success came gradually through consistent effort and unwavering commitment to their values. Apple's brand positioning didn't happen through one campaign. Steve Jobs spent years refining the company's identity, obsessing over design details and building a culture where creativity was sacred. When the iPhone launched, people didn't buy it because of a single advertisement. They bought it because Apple had spent decades establishing itself as a company that thought differently. The real secret is that global brands don't rely on flashy studios or expensive software. They rely on creativity, hard work, and a genuine understanding of what people actually want. Great marketing isn't about clever tricks or hidden manipulation. It's about understanding people deeply, listening to them, and creating experiences that genuinely improve their lives or make them feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. The brands that dominate their industries are the ones that realized a long time ago that success isn't about one perfect advertisement. It's about showing up consistently, building trust over years, creating communities where people feel they belong, and keeping customers so satisfied that they become brand ambassadors who tell their friends. It's about knowing that loyalty earned is worth infinitely more than loyalty bought. This is the hidden truth that every successful global brand has discovered, and now you know it too.